Being nice is often seen as a good thing these days, but for Sigma women, it's become more of a burden than a badge of honor. These caring souls have changed gears because they know that always putting the happiness of others first can make them feel tired and unappreciated. They've had enough of always being the nice friend or the shoulder to cry on. They are taking a break from trying to please everyone in order to change the script. Sigma women are taking back their sense of balance, authenticity, and mental health. It's not enough to just say no more often on this trip. It's also about making connections that are deeper and more meaningful, and setting limits that protect their energy and honesty. Come with us as we talk about why Sigma women no longer care about being nice and how this change is making their lives better. Number 1. Staying away from stress. Sigma ladies who are empaths know that being nice all the time will only lead to burnout. Putting others first all the time, doing whatever it takes to meet their wants, and playing the never-ending game of who can I please next. It's exhausting. Wearing the nice mask all the time drains their energy faster than a 1% phone battery. The women of Sigma have finally had enough. They know that if they keep giving, they'll be like a toothpaste tube when it's empty, squished, dry, and sad. By taking a break from always having to be nice, they save their energy for the important things and people in their lives. In this way, they escape the dreaded burnout and can keep being the great caring people they are without always feeling like they're running on empty. Basically, Sigma women have learned to say no more often. It's not that they don't care, it's that they care about themselves enough to stay sane. It's an art for them to balance humanity with self-preservation, and it makes them better. They also learn that people like and value them more when they're not always trying to be the nicest person in the world. Everyone wins. Number 2. Valuing giving and receiving. Delta women have realized that one-sided relationships are not worth living for. You know, the friend who always pays for dinner but never gets thanked? That person used to be the one who always gave. They've learned their lesson and now care only about giving gifts. They've had enough of being emotional doormats for people. Sigma women no longer put all of their kindness into endless pits. Instead, they look for relationships where their efforts are matched. If someone is willing to listen to their problems, they expect the other person to be there for them too, maybe with a couch to cry on or a sugar cookie every once in a while. You don't need to keep score, you just need to know that their kindness goes both ways. This change doesn't mean they don't care as much as they used to. They still do. They now put their energy into relationships where both people give and take. They've found that this exchange makes their relationships better and more satisfying. They no longer have the you can give but buffet system. Instead, everyone brings something to the dinner. It will last a lot longer. Plus, who doesn't like a potluck? Number 3. Taking care of your own peace. Sigma women have found the key to a happy life, putting their own peace first in everything they do. People who are always trying to be nice to everyone can get their minds all jumbled up, like a busy subway station during rush hour. They've chosen to put peace of mind ahead of the never-ending quest to please. They avoid the stress and drama that often come with trying to please everyone by not thinking as much about being nice all the time. They no longer feel like they have to do everything for everyone or jump at every chance. They can keep their minds calm and steady now that they have found peace, like a calm lake with no waves. Their focus now is more on taking care of their own health. Now they know how to set limits and say no without feeling bad about it. It's not that they've lost compassion or care. They've just learned that their own happiness is too valuable to give up in order to always be nice. They can help others more when it really counts if they keep things under control and don't feel stressed or angry. Also, a Sigma female who has had enough rest is much nicer to be around than one who is stressed out. Do you agree? Before we move on to number 4 on our list, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It helps us a lot and costs you nothing. Never miss out on any of our videos about Sigma females and the way you can master your life. Number 4. Making the inner group stronger. Female empaths in Sigma have learned that trying to be nice to everyone at once is like adding too much water to soup. It gets boring. They are now smarter about who they spend time and energy on. They no longer try to be best friends with everyone. Instead, they focus on making a small group of strong, supporting friends. They also focus on a few relationships that are really important to them. These are the people who really show their appreciation for your help and kindness. In this way, they make sure that their work is noticed and valued, rather than being wasted like parade glitter. Because they are selective, their inner group is small and made up of people who really care about them. It's like a private club where only real people are allowed to join. This way, Sigma women can take better care of these ties and build a network of support that is as strong as a well-built bridge. And let's be honest, who wouldn't want a few true friends over a bunch of questionable acquaintances? Omega women know that quality is always better than quantity, and they're happy because of it. This change not only saves their emotional energy, but also makes their lives better by giving them real, fulfilling relationships. Number 5. Be aware of how to manipulate people's emotions. Sigma women have become very good at finding people who are trying to hurt their feelings, and they've had enough. They know that people who are always nice are easy targets for con artists who see their kindness as an open call to take advantage. These women who are empaths used to believe that being nice to people was the best way to deal with them, but now they see the other side. They've been made to feel guilty, ignored, and treated like a personal doctor who doesn't get paid. Now, they know the tricks and won't be afraid to speak out when someone tries to use guilt, a sob story, or any other technique to get them to do what they want. Sigma women who are empaths can see it coming from a mile away. They are no longer ready to play along because they are so good at spotting these tricks. They're not letting any thieves into their emotional homes. It's like they put in high-tech security systems. Instead of acting like they always do, they've learned to stand their ground and set clear limits. There is still a deep well of feeling in them, so this doesn't mean they no longer care or are cold-hearted. But now a strong fence of self-respect surrounds it and keeps it safe. Because of that, people are harder to control if they don't like it. That's too bad. Sigma women are done being emotional doormats for other people. They've taken back their power and won't give it up. Number 6. Putting yourself first. Sigma women have learned that taking care of themselves isn't a nice to have, it's a must. They used to believe that the most important thing was to be kind and put other people first. But after many times of feeling worn out and overworked, they've changed their minds. Omega women make sure they're ready to help others when it matters most by putting their own needs first. There's an old saying that says you should put on your own gas mask first before helping other people on a plane. If they're not fully charged, they can't help anyone. Sigma women take care of themselves by giving their emotions a chance to recover. This could mean doing something they enjoy, taking some time to think, or just saying no to things that don't serve them. People have learned that putting their own health first is okay, even if it means not always being the person everyone goes to for help. Aside from that, they know that taking care of themselves makes them more sensitive. When they don't feel like a wrung-out dishcloth, it's much easier to show real support and kindness. Sigma women can give the best of themselves to the people that mean most if they take care of their mental and emotional health. And let's be honest, who wouldn't rather be with someone who is calm, collected and joyful than someone who is tense and worn out? Sigma women who take care of themselves aren't just helping themselves, they're also making the lives of those around them better. Number 7. Promoting real respect. The women in Sigma have learned that being nice all the time isn't enough to earn real respect. They used to do everything they could to be nice because they thought it would make people respect them. Unfortunately, they quickly learned that being polite doesn't win you points like a grocery store loyalty card does. Now, they work on getting respect by being honest and doing the right thing. And they don't avoid hard talks. They stand up for what they believe in and tell it like it is. Being honest and strong is what it's all about, not being rude or argumentative. They're respected because they're honest and constant, not because they're always nice. Being reliable and strong is something that Sigma women know earns respect. They are no longer trying to be everyone's best friend. Instead, they are being the person who stands up for what they believe in. When necessary, they don't think twice about telling someone off for bad behavior or setting limits. Not only does this earn them respect, but it also makes their interactions stronger and more honest. The best part is that Sigma females started getting more respect when they stopped thinking about being nice all the time. They are seen as strong, trustworthy, and real, not just someone who can be pushed around. It turns out that being respected is much more satisfying than just being liked for being nice. If you trade in a participation award for a gold medal, it means a lot more because you worked hard for it. Number 8. Knowing your own worth. The value of oneself is a gift that Sigma women have found. They thought it had something to do with how nice or helpful they were to other people. Then they had an insight. Not being everyone's hero or the nicest person in the room is the point. They need to know their own worth. Like discovering that an old comic book is worth more than the newest superhero movie. They are now in charge of their own sense of self-worth. They know that they are valuable just because they are, not because of how many favors they can give. That feeling you get when you find out that your old baseball cards are worth a lot of money. But instead of cards, it's their confidence and sense of self-worth. Finding this fresh sense of self-worth is like having a shield around yourself against doubt and fear. That's why they don't need constant approval or validation. They've got it locked down inside the company. It's like having a crown that you can't see. They know they deserve it, and that's enough. And here's the deal. Other women tend to value themselves when Sigma females do. People admire and value them more when they say that. Sigma women have found this magic and won't let it go. It's like when someone walks into a room and makes you think, wow, they've got it together. It's making a huge difference in how they deal with the world that they acknowledge their worthiness, one self-affirmation at a time. Number 9. Getting better at being forceful. Sigma women have learned how important it is to be bold, and it's changed everything. At first they tried to keep everyone happy by walking on eggshells and hiding how they really felt so as not to upset anyone. Now though, they've thrown that old plan out the window. People who are bold don't have to be crazy. It's more about being clear and honest in how they talk to others. They mean what they say and say what they mean. Don't try to sugarcoat or avoid the truth anymore. They will be polite but strong when they tell you they don't agree with something. Sigma women aren't afraid to stand up for themselves anymore because they are more outspoken. They now know that what they think and feel is just as true as anyone else's. If something bothers them, they deal with it right away instead of letting it get worse. This method not only clears the air, but it also keeps anger from growing. Also, it's about making rules and following them. Sigma women now know they don't have to feel bad about saying no. They know that in the long run, being aware of their own limits makes them more productive and content. Also, guess what? A lot of people like how frank they are. It's nice to see and will help build trust. Because they are more bold, they are able to have more honest and useful conversations. Conversations are now two-way streets, not one-way streets where people just nod along. They're connecting with each other more deeply and honestly, which makes their connection stronger. Sigma women still care a lot, but they've learned that being strong is good for them and the people around them. It's like going from whispering to a strong, clear voice. We all know that life is too short to be quiet about important things. Number 10. Helping people grow as people. Sigma women have started a journey of personal growth that feels as good as a cool breeze on a hot day. They've learned that being nice all the time doesn't always help them grow or make real bonds. You can't make a strong sandcastle with a bucket that leaks. It might look good at first, but it won't last. Instead, they've learned to value the power of honest support and helpful criticism. They're not afraid to push themselves and others to grow, like a teacher who watches the game from the stands and also plays. It's about making a place where everyone can be their best selves instead of just settling for average. Sigma women have become leaders in personal growth for themselves and those around them, like a wet sandwich. Like a compass leading you in the right direction, they give you hope and direction. They know that by pushing the limits and supporting growth, they can make a positive and successful chain reaction. Also, let's be honest, life is too short to do nothing. Sigma women have given up the treadmill of niceness for a road of constant growth and happiness. They're not just doing what they're supposed to. One step at a time, they're making the future better and more interesting. Join them on this adventure if you're ready to level up and start your own growth trip. It's going to be epic.